put it out of its misery.
List of the Lodge's sorceresses. A list of the whores you'll doubtless find. What's going on here? Hands off!
Are you all right?
More or less.
And the dragon?
I had to kill it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately?
Philippa enslaved the dragon with her magic. If I'd let it live, we'd surely find it serving the Lodge of Sorceresses. Many more would have died. Before the sorceresses broke the creature's will, it was noble and beautiful in its own way. But I'm dead tired of having to choose the lesser evil.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
What?
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
What do you mean, waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kedwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
No.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
That's crazy. So it looks like we're gonna come face to face with our friend, Letho. By friend, I don't mean friend. I'm gonna drink some potions here, because you never know. Oh, we've been through this area before. Whoa, Roche has the kid.
Vernon Roche, step away from the child. She's of royal blood. Temerian. Too good for you, Horsens.
Seriously.
You're an outlaw, wanted in all the north. Hand over the child and perhaps the king will show you mercy.
I piss on Kedwenny mercy.
Roche!
Triss! We can't let them have her! This is Foltest's daughter!
I've heard enough. Grab them!
I wonder how he got her out of Deathmold's hands. Anybody else?
I failed. Deathmold got away.
Oh.
Thanks, Geralt.
Triss needed my help. You know that. The Nilfgaardians outwitted us all.
What are you talking about?
They kidnapped Triss. The Emperor dispatched the Kingslayers using the Lodge as a decoy, all in order to breed chaos in the northern kingdoms.
Temeria is lost. The Barons will pick it apart into bits.
It's not lost. Temeria will be reunited. Get the child out of here. Take her far away. Far from the kings, their courts, and their wars. One day, she'll reclaim her heritage.
What about you, Geralt?
I'm going after the Kingslayer.
A man of his word.
It's personal now.
Farewell then, White Wolf. I trust we'll meet again in better times.
Farewell, Roche.
Looks like he didn't need my help to get her after all.
Where's Yorvith? How's Yorvith?
Proud, I think. The reward on his head has never been greater. Those seeking him, the Scoia'tael hunters, will be reinforced. The special forces throughout the north will receive more resources. The Council and the Conclave are assigning several mages to the task. Yorvith is now public enemy #1. They won't rest until they find him.
What is with these magical vines that are all over the place? Uh-oh. Oh, they're burning all these bodies. What?
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, though sometimes by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the royal soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory. Until that time, we need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tansarville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
That could take a while. Sheila's fled Loch Muin via Megascope.
We have time. She cannot hide forever. Sooner or later, she will be ours. Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle. The city will be sealed in 1 hour.
I wonder if we would have not grabbed that gem from Sheila. Oh, geez, look at this. If she would have just died.
There he is.
Wait for me.
Geralt.
This is between me and him.
You don't have to.
I do. He knows how I lost my memory. Wait for me at the city gate. If I'm not there within the hour, leave without me.
Okay, let's see here. Defeating the dragon was one of Geralt's greatest feats. It was a difficult fight. Even the slightest mistake could have meant instant death. Yet an even harder task now awaited the bruised and fatigued Witcher. He had to settle things with Letho. I wonder if we're going to be settling things with words.
Took you a while? Is that bauble from Sheila's megascope?
Must be.
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
I let her escape.
You're heartless. You've no idea what the Royal Witch Hunters have in store for her. A lot of pain for a long time.
I don't doubt it. So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment. But first... vodka.
I only drink with friends.
What about old acquaintances? Eh? Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
Here we go.
The winter solstice 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every Witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our Witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I chased you for lots of reasons. You owe me some explanations to start with.
Let's say I do.
Care to tell me what it was all about?
Kill as many rulers as we could. Lay the blame on the sorceresses. Breed chaos. Prepare the North. Soften it before the invasion. And you know what's incredible? We could not have imagined more fertile soil. No matter what the war's outcome, the northern monarchs will accuse one another. Pursue their God-given rights. Seek vengeance and be at each other's throats for years to come. The North resembles a whorehouse on fire, as your friend Dandelion would say.
Oh, geez, look at this.
Care to tell me?
I want to see what...
No.
Oh, I see, okay.
Care to...
Okay, interesting. You failed to slay Henselt. Sheila came to Flotsam looking for you. You wanted to take over Yorvith's unit. What was the idea? How did you know Full Test would get to the Solar?
Shame you didn't take a shot at Henselt yourself. History might have taken a different turn.
Maybe I would have killed him. Maybe you would have killed me. Who knows? But Henselt's death, although desirable, wasn't necessary anymore. The plan could go forward without it. Besides, somebody else got him.
You know who?
Come on. We both know.
Wow.
So Sheila was looking for you when she came to Flotsam.
Mm-hmm. She thought she was still in control and wanted to get rid of me. I'd bet my eyes that she thought I'd lost my mind, or that Yorveth was manipulating me.
And the North descended deeper into chaos.
Exactly. There was just one problem. You. I could have killed you in the Elven ruins. Thing is, you weren't really my enemy.
When did you decide to get rid of Yorvith?
As soon as I realized I couldn't manipulate him. A true fox, that one. He was so observant, so dangerous. I got the sense he might see through me at any moment.
You made a mistake. You were untouchable as long as the Scoia'tael were protecting you.
Maybe, but with Yorveth, my hands were tied. If I'd finished off Kieran...
Bet you didn't. And that allowed me to drive a wedge between you and Yorvith. I forced you to flee.
And I let you live. You know I could have killed you. You're forgetting.
No, I remember. How did you know Foltest would come to the monastery's Solar?
Yorveth and I planned Foltest's murder. The King of Temeria would have to deal with the Lavalette sooner or later, and he made no secret of it. I was sure he'd want to recover his bastard children in the process. And where do they take the children when a castle's under siege? I had to become a monk, but I couldn't just arrive at the monastery and claim I'd seen the light. Not very believable. So one of Arian's patrols out in the forests happened on a Scoia'tael unit torturing a helpless monk. Arian's brave men drove off the elves and I found shelter in the monastery.
No one noticed you had no wounds?
I paid the monk who treated me a lot of orange to stay silent. Actually, it was only a loan, because I killed him later. Only the dead can keep a secret. Then all I had to do was wait for the situation to develop. When I saw you enter the chamber with Foltest, I thought I might fail. Luckily, you failed. To recognize an old friend.
How do you manage to slay Demavend?
Sheila's magic. I mean, she could give us the king's every move. His habits, the positions of the palace guards, anything. All we had to do was navigate the labyrinth and land the final blow. Besides, she had plenty of gold for the preparations. Greased palms abundantly. It had all the makings of a cakewalk. But it's never that easy. We barely avoided our pursuers. And we wouldn't have if not for Yorveth's Scoia'tael. Another of Sheila's ideas. With Yorveth's elves, not only did we cut down Demavend, but traveling with them put us out of the Lodge's reach. We could calmly plan Foltest's and Henselt's assassinations.
Where'd you get your information about the Lodge?
From the Emperor and Vatier de Rideau, the Emperor's chief spy. And I believe they got it out of Yennefer.
She recovered her memory?
Nah. I'd never claimed she informed on her friends consciously. I expect they found a way to tap into her memory in spite of her amnesia, and without her knowing it. There was a sorcerer present when I was questioned. A young, proud intelligence officer. Whatever the case, they gave me a list of the sorceresses in the Lodge. Only Emir, Vatier, and I were present. Only we knew of the mission.
How did you manage to contact Sheila?
It wasn't a problem once I learned of the Lodge's existence. Initially, she watched my every move. But sooner or later, everyone starts treating me like a big oaf. I mean, I can't change how I look. I stayed close to Sheila, killed a few beasts for her, and whined about how unhappy I was, how unfair the world was. So much, in fact, that I actually got her gander up a few times. I made sure a few potentially trustworthy witnesses saw us together, could link us. Security in case I was captured. I also prepared to assassinate the King of Kavir. Esterad Tyson was to be the first victim of the mysterious assassins. But before I could do the dirty deed, Sheila asked me to slay Demavend. The gods had smiled upon me. I couldn't believe my luck. Here I'd been trying to figure out how to frame Sheila, and now all I needed was to carry out her orders and follow through.
He manipulated everybody. I just want to see if there was another... Yeah, here we go. There were more options in here.
Why are you still here? Why did you wait for me this time?
I knew you wouldn't give up. I knew you'd pursue me. And I don't aim to hide anymore. Fact is, only you know the truth about me well. And a couple of folks whose word isn't worth spit anymore. I never saw you as a foe. I want to go my way. But if I have to fight you first, so be it. This story ends here and now.
How did a Witcher agree to kill humans at another human's bidding?
At the Emperor's bidding, Geralt. And he's no ordinary human. The rulers of the North come up to about where his Pauline's end.
Why?
Simple. He promised to rebuild the School of the Viper, the Witcher's order where I came to be. Witcher's schools in the south fell into ruin long ago, and Witchers themselves became internal exiles, banned from entering most cities. Besides Seret and Ox, I know of 2 other Witchers of the School of the Viper who should be alive and on the path. I don't know where they are. Haven't seen them for years. Now they can come out of hiding. They can come home.
More Witchers. This is gonna be interesting.
How did you know where we'd find the Wild Hunt?
Every Witcher who wears the Viper around his neck knows the place. We had so many books and scrolls about the hunt that I used to think our school was founded for the very purpose of solving the riddle of the spectral riders.
Know who they are? You know the true identities of the riders?
From what I understand, they're some damn elven race. But they turned out to be a big ruse. The legendary omen of war proved to be a fairground attraction.
No Market Square mage could possibly conjure up a cavalcade of wraiths speeding across the sky. Then there's the amnesia. No, there's something more, I assure you.
Go ahead, enlighten me. I can tell you want to.
There are a lot of legends and myths about it, but the Wild Hunt is a fact. I've fought and killed many of its wraiths. They were spectral emanations, the avatars of real riders. The riders we ran into by the Hanged Man's Tree.
Are you telling me you were carried off by elves? Real material sons of bitches like the ordinary kind we deal with in this world?
They may be ordinary in their world, but they're strangers in ours. The conjunction of spheres. Know the theory? Do you know how monsters appeared in our world?
There's not a Witcher who doesn't know that.
So you know there are other spheres. The most powerful of our mages can open passages between these worlds, and they usually do that to summon the monsters we then have to hunt. The elves we saw come from another world, and they weren't summoned. They found the way on their own. It's not exactly easy, so they usually send their spectral emanations. They come in person on special missions.
As they did for you and Yennefer.
Mm-hmm.
So, elves from another world and their trained wraiths. What did they want from you?
I've got an idea, but that's not your concern.
I wonder if Yorveth would have known anything more about that specific situation.
Tell me about Yennefer. What happened after I departed?
She was feverish for several days, delirious, in agony. We thought that was it. She was on her way out. Somehow she recovered. But even then she was disoriented. Amnesia like you.
What then?
Well, the woman turned out to be quite a character. Throwing temper tantrums, trying to seduce orcs, trying to drive a wedge between
Don't like that.
us. After you so nobly sacrificed yourself, we thought it'd be dumb just to leave her somewhere. She wouldn't have survived more than a month. The whims and vigor of a duchess, but she was just a sorceress with no memory. We were in the heart of the Empire. And as I'm sure you know, Geralt, in Nilfgaard, mages who behave like that either drop their bad habits quickly, or are drawn and quartered by horses in the middle of Victory Square.
So I heard.
So we set out, wandered through the provinces. Everywhere we went, she got in trouble and we pulled her out. And then one day they captured us. The Imperial Secret Police. Me, Ox, Sarah, and Yennefer.
Imperial Secret Police?
Mm-hmm. We were separated, and they questioned us. Long and thoroughly, but it was uneventful. No violence. That's how I met Vatia de Rideau. And a couple of weeks later, the Emperor himself. Me. A simple witcher.
What happened to Yennefer?
I don't know. Never saw her again. The Emperor offered me a mission in the northern kingdoms. As for Yennefer, I had the feeling she was somehow important to Emir. As I see it, they learned of the Lodge from her. Those Imperial spooks have their ways. All I heard is that Vatir had his men watch Yennefer closely throughout the time she was at the palace. Then we went off to slay the kings of the north. And that's where my knowledge ends.
So she's in the Empire.
She was when I left.
I think that's it.
I'm done talking. Let's finish this.
Want to fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here. The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
Oh, what? That's crazy. Fight him or let him walk away. That is really difficult. If I let him go, then I mean, he could do this all over again. He's a master manipulator. And if I fight him, that's the end of it. And I don't know if it makes sense. I don't know what to do. Like, he's just gonna go on breeding chaos, I'm sure. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But also, like, if I do kill him, what does that really... What do I really get from that? Oh, this is so tough.